When we think of the most dangerous masterminds of Nazi Germany, names like Himmler, Goebbels, and Mengele come to mind. But there was a woman whose face was innocent, yet whose cruelty could shame even the devil. This is the story of Irma Grese, a person, or perhaps an enemy, who became a grim lesson for all of humanity. Let's begin and uncover the final days of one of the most dreaded criminals of the Third Reich. Irma Grese's career began in 1942, when she was just 18 years old. She applied to work as a guard at the Ravensbrück concentration camp. When she returned home in her SS uniform, her anti-Nazi father threw her out of the house. In retaliation, she reported him to the authorities. After her time at Ravensbrück, she was transferred in 1943 to Auschwitz, where within just a few months, she rose to become supervisor, the second highest-ranking woman in the camp, just after the notorious Maria Mandel. She oversaw 30,000 Jewish inmates, subjecting them to every form of torture and abuse. After Auschwitz, she moved to Bergen-Belsen, where she gained a reputation as one of the most sadistic female guards in the entire Third Reich. On the night of April 14, 1945, Bergen-Belsen's commandant negotiated surrender with the British. The next morning, Allied troops arrived to find the neatly uniformed German staff lined up, led by Joseph Kramer and an arrogant-looking Irma Grese. News headlines called them the Beasts of Belsen. At the Bergen-Belsen trial in December 1945, Irma Grese faced charges of murder, torture, and sexual abuse. Her trademark was leather boots, a whip, and a pistol. She set her dogs on female prisoners, sometimes killing them. She shot inmates at random, beat them with her braided whip, and spared neither children nor the elderly. According to trial documents, every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, she carried out selections. Dressed in a spotless uniform, her hair perfectly arranged, she picked her victims with visible enjoyment, often starting with those who still retained some beauty. Dr. Gisela Perl, a Hungarian Jewish gynecologist, testified that Grese whipped young women on their breasts until the wounds became infected, after which Perl was forced to amputate them without anesthesia. One survivor recalled that in June 1944, 300 women were beaten and then sent to the gas chambers. Estimates suggest that at Bergen-Belsen, she was responsible for up to 30 deaths per day. During the trial, Irma Grese denied most charges. She admitted beating prisoners, but claimed she did so only for good reason. She admitted using a whip and forcing inmates into exhausting physical drills as punishment. She claimed she didn't know the full scale of the genocide, a statement hard to believe, given the industrial nature of the Holocaust. She never abandoned her Nazi beliefs. In prison, she sang SS marching songs. In court, she remained cold and distant, often answering only "no, I don't know," or "I don't remember." On the 54th day of the trial, she was found guilty. At just 22 years old, she became the youngest woman to be sentenced to death under British law in the 20th century. On December 13, 1945, at Hamlin Prison, British hangman Albert Pierrepoint carried out her execution. Reports say she resisted when Pierrepoint tried to place the black hood over her head, forcing him to slap her into compliance. The execution was allegedly botched, with some claiming she died from strangulation rather than a clean hanging. Her last word was "schnell," quick, as if ordering her own death. Afterwards, her body was mutilated, cremated, and her ashes scattered into a drainage river to ensure no Nazi grave could become a shrine for neo-Nazi sympathizers. This was the story of Irma Grese. If you'd like to learn more about the trials of Nazi war criminals, Drop your suggestions in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.